Now, coming back to the position which you have handled, when you are at a senior level, when stakes are high, and when you create a process, it becomes very important that that process become error-proof because the stakes are very high. One small mistake can have a very huge consequences on the entire business. How do you create such error-proof processes where stakes are very high?
The error-proof processes cannot be made in one go. Whenever you are building an organization or you're working in an organization on an activity, very important is that you should have a SOP, that is the standard operating procedure. So you may call them the protocols. Those protocols should be made and they should be followed sacrosanctly.
Right.
But at the same time, you should keep revisiting those SOPs.
Right.
Because in processes are dynamic, nothing is stable. With the time, you may require certain changes based on the experience. And I think that is how you should proceed. There is nothing error-free, but
Right.
yes, there is something that you should follow. And that is
Evolve
the
over
SOPs.
time.
And yes, and it keeps on evolving.
That was my next, in fact, question is because I'm also building a business and I've seen a lot of resistance when you try to do something something new. And especially in organization which you are leading, thousands of people are there and there are different set of challenges you face. How do you, and since you handle the function which is more on improvement, business intelligence and growth, how do you handle when you have to implement something new? There is always a resistance from the team and there is always a process which is set, which is giving you a desired X level of result. You're trying a new thing because you want to exceed your output out of that. How do you handle this adoption of new things while not compromising on what is already been given and then anticipating or aspiring for something which is better than what you have been doing?
There's always resistance to change.
Right.
But the important thing is communication. If you are clear and if we are able to communicate properly
Right.
to the audience or to the persons who are getting affected by that change, if you bring clarity that what is the benefit that the process or they are going to gain, I think the adoption is easy. Cut short the answer, I think communication with clarity
Right.
is very important so that the team have a trust in you that if we adopt this change, it is not going to hamper their productivity.
Now, yours is a very regulated industry. Energy is a very regulated industry. And when something is very regulated, you have less scope of experimenting or trying out new innovation. I think, how do you handle this challenge? Because again, moment it comes to compliances, regulations, you have very little scope to play around it.
Regulations don't bind you from innovations. And regulations something which is not unknown.